heart attack. Fast fatal heart impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. Now, this is going to be a bit more lengthy with it, since we're covering all 4 of our characters. The couples have had a bit more trouble. For Izuku and Katsuki, their relationship was an odd one. They broke up millennia ago. And after going out for drinks and being able to actually somewhat party and chat a bit more casually, they were finally forced to face their demons. And they talked. The two talked about what happened when they first gained these godlike powers, and how things have been. For Izuku and Katsuki, their relationship wasn't very healthy. After the loss of their son, and gaining these abilities, the two were both somewhat unhinged. They recoiled. They were grieving in ways that weren't healthy. And then learning that your home universe was destroyed, and gaining godlike abilities. All this stuff piled together was not helping. And there were the way these abilities affected them. They made a imaginary friend, you could say, something from thin air, that imitated their son John. And whenever the two were finally able to come to terms with what happened, and realize this copy was not their son, they broke things off. Something happened. The two got physically aggressive and fought, and they couldn't do this anymore. Deku, he left, and so did Katsuki. The two literally couldn't face one another, let alone say anything. They were just so horrified. And, well, realizing that they both had parts in this that made that thing, that imitation, they couldn't really blame one another, since they can understand why they did it, because subconsciously, they miss their baby boy. Now, there actually was things with Izumi and Bakugo. Their relationship has been a lot more strange. It was healthy. Then they gained these abilities and started to try and help people. They were given this godlike power, and not using it, that wasn't an option for them. They wanted to help humanity. And right now, millennia later, humanity, they're on the right track. They're doing good. They're doing okay. But there's just an issue. They've come to a point where after trying to constantly cut back on the amount of work they do, trying to help people and get more involved in people's lives, they've come to a bit of a junction. They've already helped humanity a lot, and they're finally easing things up on them. But they're still cautious. And now they wanted to help other alien civilizations. Yes, that sounds like a good idea, but with the way the relationship was turning, it was just all about work and doing this and all that. No personal time for one another, or even themselves. They made a bit of a decision. And coming to it was not an easy one. Continue their relationship and fully let go of, well, this leash they had people on, or break up and try to help people in the best way they think is possible. Now, the two are having a bit of an issue coming to terms with what to do. And there actually is right now with those two. Those two are a bit more confused. And after weeks on end of partying nonstop, it feels odd. The two, they haven't really been together for a long time. And right now, this is nice. It's good. It's almost peaceful in a way. In Izumi, she actually currently is somewhere dancing, and she's having a lot of fun. And she actually is looking around. The lights, they're flashing different colors. And the music, it's so loud she can almost feel the vibrations of the speakers just echoing over and over and over. And it's amazing. Her looking around to try and find Bakugo. As she does finally see him. Her walking over as Bakugo, he actually is somewhat looking off into space. And whenever she's going to walk up and tap onto his shoulder, she has asked him what he's doing. Hey, listen, are you looking into another planet right now? No, no, no. Listen, just, watch. Bakugo bring his hand up. And Izumi does go to hesitantly reach out and grab onto it, laying her hand onto his palm, as she actually is going to somewhat turn to look where he's looking. And there actually is Izuku and Bakugo. And they're both talking. They're making a bit more of amends. They're on speaking terms. That's great. Her pulling her hand back very quickly. Yeah, I know. So, I heard a lot about what happened with them. You did? Yeah, yeah. Um, they didn't experience these powers like we did. They didn't have each other, really. Yeah, I know about that much. I mean, their breakup was quite destructive. I know. But I want to talk to him. Try and make amends for what happened. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't even remember why we were fighting. I mean, we just... Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly. It was so stupid. But him, I get it. Was he angry at me? Towards me? Or was he just... God, that sobered me up really quickly. Did it? Yeah. So worried about everybody else's issues that I can't even focus on my own. What was that? Fuck. Sorry. That just... No. Bakugo. Listen, I get it. You do. Yes. Jesus. Okay. Listen, I know where we're at, and I know why this is important to you and to me. But still, don't you think this is, a little too much? I do. Yeah. Stop looking into their business. Okay. I was gonna tell you what they were talking about, but I figured you should hear it from her rather than me. I get what you mean. Right, I keep forgetting she's me. Honestly, it's almost easier that way. We're not the same person. I mean, hell, the entire world's fucking flipped on its head. And now so is ours. Honestly, Izumi, I do still love you. I do care for you, but all of this, everything we've done for the universe, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm bored or that I don't care, but it's just overwhelming. Honestly, it's fucking depressing. I know. All we ever do is try to prevent disasters from happening. And if we're not direct about it, we have to be subtle. And those subtle little changes, they're easy, but trying to find every single universe, every little detail, down to the very fucking drops of rainwater, it's not easy. It's not fun. I mean, shit. We had to set up an entire butterfly effect just to stop a war for 1,000 years. It's insane. I'll just say it. It's insane. And doing that for other civilizations, I don't know. We handled humanity decently well, and now they're on their own. No one's looking over them. We'll still check in. I know, but would that be good? What do you mean? Would that be healthy? I mean, don't get me wrong, we can check in on them. We can look after them still. But this idea of they destroy themselves and we just rebuild them, erase their memories they never learn. What if the next time it happens, we let them keep those memories? Are you insane? No, no. I've thought about it before. Let them just all live this massive deja vu and stop. I saw it pretty well in one future. And others, people lose their fucking minds. They lose their fucking marbles. They do it anyways. They think the world's already ended and this is just a hallucination, a dream, a nightmare even. But in one, it scares everybody. And they just don't know what to do. Some freeze up, some just immediately just retract in on themselves, close themselves off. And others, they're so scared by what's happening, they just lay down their weapons and they don't do it. They know the violence will just happen. And the idea of knowing they could do that to themselves, it stops them. Well, it makes them grow. But I'm not so sure. That sounds interesting. So you're saying in this hypothetical future that the people realize they were given a second chance, so why waste it? Wow. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still problems, but just not as many. I mean, yes, people question it. People wonder what the fuck happened, why it happened. It's Occam's razor. And they try and figure it out, but they just can't. They think it's time travel. Oh, but time travel's not possible. La-di-da. Little do they fucking know. I mean, seriously. They try to ask other planets, other civilizations about it, but there's no answer to it. They even try to ask other humans, but it's just some strange phenomenon that happened on Earth with no explanation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know how bad it sounds, but in the end it gives good results. Because people aren't dying anymore. Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still messed up just to intervene that much and destroy what everyone thinks is real. I don't know. Someone destroyed what we thought was real, and right now we're on an alien planet partying in this fucking place. We're thousands of years into our fucking future. And we can change anything because we're gods. What does that say? I was a boy who wanted to be a superhero. Now what am I? I'm scared. I thought things were simpler when my life was that small. Whatever I knew, what I knew was that small. But now I'm just terrified. Because you don't know what else is out there. Exactly. It's a conundrum. You think you know everything about the world, and whenever it's revealed to you there's way more to it than you first thought, your first question is, okay, do I know everything now? Of course, the answer is you don't. There's always something out there. There is, isn't there? Yeah. I mean, hell, speaking of superheroes, remember that one idea I had? The idea to create superheroes? Yeah, I remember. You give everybody quirks. But remember that one discussion? Yeah. If we make the powers too strong, then, well, villains. If we make them too weak, people can just destroy the heroes. A gun would just be simple. I mean, it would be more reliable. But bulletproof, strong, fast, there's too much to cover. Too many different variables. But I've thought of something. I looked through the bag and I found a ring. I didn't think much of it, but I looked into it more. I studied it more. It works off of emotions and it turns them into power. It does. Yeah, yeah. So what about we make a police force for not only the Earth, but for the universe? If every planet has people with powers solving issues, the responsibility isn't just on one person, nor is it on us anymore. We create people who want to do good, who want to help the world. And they can. It would solve a lot of issues for not only us, but for those places. Imagine it. People who could stop wars before they start, and who can stop bad things from happening. It sounds good, but how do we know they're not just gonna turn bad? Easy. Fail-safes. But there was other ideas. These powers, the ones that come with the ring, they're only so single-minded. Constructs, flight, and a mask to hide your identity, which honestly doesn't do much. So what about, well, different things? Like an emotional response. Or just the idea of, okay, I need to go to work. And you're immediately just changed. Your powers manifest in an instant when you need them. With just a thought. But they also work based on what you're feeling and who you are. It's, well, in the best way of saying it, a super powered mechanism. You feel like you need to run from something, okay, boom, now you can run on water faster than it. Fast enough to where you can practically see time crawl at a standstill. Or you can just move faster than sound, depending on how you feel or what you need for the situation. It's that simple. You could be a brick wall and just take the damage. I don't know. These ideas, they all sound like good ones. They do. But what about the downsides to them? The downsides? They don't want to be there. They react like humans, not like us. They react negatively. They don't want to be there, so they teleport to a place with no oxygen by accident. They phase shift through a wall because they don't know how to use their powers properly. And that ends ugly? Or what if just bad things happen when they try to use their powers? We can't rewind time. Not on them. We'd have to let them learn and grow because we aren't holding their hand anymore. We're just giving them access to tools that help. So I understand it, but I understand it too. But I don't think it's a good idea either. Honestly, I just want to do something stupid for a minute. And what was our last vacation? Oh, that one. I can't remember if it was hmm. We were either sailing around an alien planet and trying out different spots, or we were I'm having a bit of trouble thinking of it right now. Because I'm mistaking it for another one. You are? Yeah. I mean, sort of. But that doesn't matter. I get what you're talking about. It's a good idea. If we're going to do that, we need to get the others' input. But we can't interrupt them. Okay, you two are clearly deep in conversation. Both the two turning and seeing their counterparts as they do go to walk up. How long have you guys been standing there? About whenever he started to speak fucking philosophy. Oh, so just joking with you, man. We got here at the superpowered part. I mean, we just saw you two staring at us for a second. Right, right. Okay, sorry, it's fine. Listen, you guys would have found out about it one way or another, so why even try to hide it? Alright? Listen, we accidentally made a copy of our son. Both of us. Things got bad from there. We thought we were still living in that timeline, but whenever we needed something, we couldn't find our friends. We couldn't find people we came to know as family. They were just right outside in the house next door, but next door didn't exist. It got to the point where we barely left the cabin. And whenever we realized he wasn't John, do you want to know what happened? We screamed at each other. We blamed each other. But we both knew it was our fault. Both of us. We thought we created ourselves, but we wanted to blame the other one. And whenever we tried to talk about it more, we just couldn't. The first time after all that happened that we tried saying that we thought we both made it ourselves, we couldn't agree on it. And then there was the rationality. It took a century to deal with that. We realized we felt both of our power off of it. Yeah. Jesus, dude. That's pretty messed up, Katsuki. I know. I know. But just pray that never happens to you. To either of you two. You guys are strained on a relationship. Take a trip. I hear Mars is nice. Or somewhere in Andromeda. Maybe. What was that one place you were talking about, Izuku? You have to be a lot more specific. The space station. And whenever you were a smuggler? You were a smuggler, Izuku? I'm pretty sure all of us have lived the same role at different times. So, yeah. But, what was your name? I'm not answering that. First rule of being a smuggler. No, because if you're a well-known smuggler, then you're just a fucking space pirate. Touche. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, glossing over that. So, you guys are talking about heroes. Yeah, okay. Now, the four reappear somewhere else, and they do start to talk. And this idea, it does seem very intriguing. And right now, there actually is somebody watching. And they're a bit more curious. They're watching these four, and they're just waiting. They're waiting to see how long it takes them to notice, waiting to see how long it takes them to realize and understand what is happening and why they are here. Because they do have questions, and they feel like this version of themselves, they might have answers. I mean, the multiverse is a big place, so perhaps this might not be a bad idea, or perhaps it might be. So let's just see what happens. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.